Good morning to all. Myself, Shoaib Pirzadeh, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Milia Art Science and Management Science College, B. Now, we are studying thermodynamic first. And in the last period, we have seen that is what is mean by heat capacity. Definition of heat, heat capacity. So the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of system through 1 degree centigrade under the given set of condition is called heat capacity. It is denoted by C. Molar heat capacity. The quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of substance through 1 degree centigrade is called molar heat capacity. Molar heat capacity at constant pressure and constant volume. Now, first, molar heat capacity at constant pressure. It is defined as the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of gas through 1 degree centigrade at constant pressure. It is denoted by Cp. Now, molar heat capacity at constant volume. It is defined as the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of gas through 1 degree centigrade at constant volume. It is denoted by that is Cv, and the formula for Cp, that is molar heat capacity at constant pressure, is that is Cp is equal to dH divided by dt, while formula for molar heat capacity at constant volume, that is Cv is equal to dE upon dt. Now, up to this in the last period we have discussed. Now today we see the relation between, that is a molar heat capacity at constant pressure and molar heat capacity at constant volume, that is Cp and Cv. So that is Cp minus Cv is equal to R. This is the relation between, that is Cp and Cv, that is molar heat capacity at constant pressure and molar heat capacity at constant volume. Now we have to prove this, that is Cp minus Cv is equal to R. Now for this purpose we have taken, that is consider for a system, we have taken the formula for enthalpy. What is the formula for enthalpy? That is H is equal to E plus PV. We have seen this. Now suppose this is equation number 1. Now differentiate this equation 1 with respect to temperature. Then what we get? dH upon dt, that is this, we have to take the derivative of this H, that is dH divided by dt is equal to this derivative of E, that is d, and this is with respect to temperature, so d upon dt plus P into, because P is constant, so P into derivative of V with respect to t, that is dV upon dt. Therefore, what is the differentiate of equation 1? That is dH upon dt is equal to dE upon dt plus P into dV upon dt. This is equation number 2. Now, as already we have seen the definition of, that is molar heat capacity at constant pressure and molar heat capacity at constant volume with their formulas. So what is the formula for molar heat capacity at constant pressure? That is Cp. So Cp is equal to dH upon dt. You have seen this, that is Cp is equal to dH upon dt. And we have also seen that is a molar heat capacity at constant volume. So what is their formula? Cv is equal to dE upon dt. So this is equation number 3. That is in equation 3 we have written the formulas for, that is Cp and Cv, as already we have seen in the definition, that is Cp is equal to dH upon dt and Cv is equal to dE upon dt. This is equation number 3. Now for 1 mole of gas, that is ideal gas equation. What is ideal gas equation? We have seen that is PV is equal to nRT. This is ideal gas equation for n mole. But if we take for 1 mole, the ideal gas equation becomes, that is we have to put the value of small n, that is number of moles, as 1. Then what that equation becomes, that is PV is equal to RT. That is we have taken ideal gas equation for 1 mole. PV is equal to RT. Understand? That is, now differentiate again this equation. PV is equal to RT. That is P as it is into derivative of V. Derivative of V is dV is equal to R. R is constant, that is gas constant, into derivative of T, that is the dt. So P into dV is equal to R into dt. Therefore, now rearrange this. You take this R on one side and remaining terms on other side. So what we are getting here, P into dV upon dt is equal to R, and this is equation number 4. That is P into dV upon dt is equal to R. Equation number 4. Now see what is from equation 2, 3 and 4. From equation 2, 3 and 4. Now what is equation 2? dH upon dt. dH upon dt is equal to dE upon dt plus P into dV upon dt. Now what is the value of this dH upon dt? dH upon dt is nothing but Cp, as we have seen the definition, that is Cp is equal to dH upon dt. And what is the value of Cv? Cv is nothing but dE upon dt. Here in equation 2, dH upon dt is there and dE upon dt also is there. So this is equal to Cp and this is d upon dt. It is equal to, that is Cv. Now P into dV upon dt. Now what is the value of P into dV upon dt from equation 4? Now see the equation 4. Equation 4, P into dV upon dt is equal to R. Okay. So P into dV upon dt is equal to R. So put this value as R. Now equation 2 becomes, that is substituting the equation 3 and 4 in equation 2, we get. Now what is equation 2? dH upon dt. What is the value of this dH upon dt? As it is Cp. Put as Cp is equal to d upon dt. What is its value? Cv. Okay, put the value Cv plus P into dV upon dt. Its value is R. So put plus R. So Cp is equal to Cv plus R, or take this Cv on left hand side. So what it becomes? Cp as it is. Now transfer this Cv on left hand side, minus Cv is equal to this R as it is. So Cp minus Cv is equal to R. That is the very important equation. This is called, that is this equation, that is implies this is the relation between, that is molar heat capacity at constant pressure and molar heat capacity at constant, that is volume, and R is the gas constant, that is Cp is molar heat capacity at constant pressure, Cv is molar heat capacity at constant volume, and R is gas constant, and it is its value is taken as R is equal to 8.314 joule. So this is about that is a relation between Cp and Cv, or prove that Cp minus Cv is equal to R. Question may be asked in the examination, that is prove that Cp minus Cv is equal to R for 5 marks. So it is very simple, but it is purely mathematical part. We have to remember the formula of Cp, what is the formula of Cv, formula of enthalpy and ideal gas equation, and apply the derivative and rearrange. Okay, so this is about the relation between Cp and Cv. Now next. Now here Cp minus Cv is equal to R. That is Cp is greater than Cv. That is Cp minus Cv is equal to R, and it is always positive. So that is explain Cp is greater than Cv. Cp is greater than Cv. That is Cp minus Cv is always the quantity of this Cp minus Cv is always positive. So Cp is always greater than Cv. So we see why Cp is greater than Cv. Why Cp is greater than Cv. Now Cp is the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of gas through 1 degree centigrade at constant pressure, whereas Cv is the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of gas through 1 degree centigrade at constant volume. As we have seen the definition of Cp, that is a quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of gas through 1 degree centigrade at constant pressure, where Cv is the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of gas through 1 degree centigrade at constant volume. So these are the definition. Now, if gas is heated at constant volume, if gas is heated at constant volume, the heat absorbed is used only to increase the internal energy. That is, when gas is heated at constant volume, then heat is absorbed, and this heat absorbed is used to increase only to increase the internal energy. So if gas is heated at constant volume, the heat absorbed is used only to increase the internal energy. Now, but if gas is heated at constant pressure, the heat absorbed is used in two ways. So one, some part of it is used to increase the internal energy. Some part of it is used to increase the internal energy, and the remaining part is used to increase the or to do the external work. So when that is a gas is heated at constant pressure, then heat absorb is used in, that is, two ways. That is, first, one part of it is used to increase the internal energy, and remaining part is used to do the work. While if gas is heated at constant volume, what will happen? That is, heat in both process, that is, in both cases, at constant volume or at constant pressure, that is, heat is absorbed. At constant volume, heat absorbed is used only to increase the internal energy. Heat absorbed is used to increase the internal energy. But when gas is heated at constant pressure, the heat absorbed is used in two ways. That is, first, it is used to increase the internal energy, and second, that is, remaining part is used to do the external work. Therefore, the more heat is required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of gas through 1 degree centigrade at constant pressure, because at constant pressure, heat absorbed is utilized in two ways. One is to increase internal energy of the system, and second, that is to do external work. While in case of gas at, that is, gas is heated at constant volume, the heat absorbed is used only in, that is, increase the internal energy. So in case of molar heat capacity at constant, that is a pressure, more heat is required. That is, hence Cp is greater than Cv. Cp is greater than Cv. So for that reason, that is always, that is a Cp is greater than, that is the Cv. Okay, so this is question may be asked, that is separately explain Cp is greater than Cv. So main reason is that is heat absorbed at constant pressure is utilized in two ways. Number one, to increase the internal energy, and second, to do external work, while in at constant volume, that is heat absorbed is utilized only to increase the internal energy. So for that reason, more energy or more heat is required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of gas through 1 degree centigrade at constant pressure. Hence, Cp is greater than Cv. So this is the explanation of that is why Cp is greater than Cv. Okay. Now next. Next and last bit from this topic, that is Hiss's law for constant heat summation. Hiss's law for constant heat summation. Now we see the statement of this law. So what is the statement of this law? The change in enthalpy during a chemical reaction is independent of the path between the initial and final state. That is, the change in enthalpy during a chemical reaction is independent of the path between the initial and final state, or the total amount of heat absorbed, the total amount of heat absorbed or evolved during a chemical reaction. That is, the total amount of heat evolved or absorbed during a chemical reaction is same whether the reaction takes place in one step or many steps. That is, two reactions are there. In one reaction, heat evolve or heat absorb. That is, the react in first reaction, two same reactions are there. Two same reactions are there in these two same reaction. That is, reactants as well as products are also same. But in first reaction or in first process, that is, the reaction takes place in only one step. That is, A is converted into, that is the D. Only fast reaction, that is A is converted into D. And in second reaction, the same reaction is carried out in stepwise, in many steps. That is, that A is converted into B, B is converted into C, and C is converted into D. That is, in both the, that is reaction, in both the reaction, that is A is converted into D, but in first process, that is A is converted into B, it is a single step. Directly A is converted into D. While in second process, or in, that is second reaction, that is the reaction takes place in many steps, more than one step. That is, first A is converted into B, B is converted into C, and C is converted into D. In both the reaction or in both the process, in first process A is converted into D, while in second process, that is A is converted into, that is D. But see here, that is, consider a chemical reaction in which substance A is converted into D. Substance A is converted into D directly in single step. Directly in single step. That is, A is converted into, that is the D. And the change in enthalpy is delta H. Change in enthalpy is delta H. That is, change in enthalpy is denoted by delta H. And this A is converted into D directly. Now, suppose the same reaction is carried out in many steps. The same reaction is carried out in many steps. That is, we have taken first in three steps here. First, A is converted into B, heat evolve or absorb is denoted by, that is the delta H1. See the diagram here. First, A is converted into D, heat evolve or absorb is denoted by delta H. This is enthalpy. Now, in the second step, that is A is converted into D, but it is carried out in three steps. First, A is converted into B. Now, in this process, heat absorb or heat evolve is denoted by, that is the delta H. Now, In second step, what will happen? B is converted into C. As B is converted into C, and it is denoted by, that is the heat absorbed or evolved in this process is denoted by, that is the delta H2. It is denoted by delta H2. Now what will happen in third step? In third step, C is converted into D. C is converted into D. And in this reaction, heat absorbed or evolved is denoted by, that is delta H3. So that is, in both the process, A is converted into D, while in second process, that is A is converted into D. Reactant or product are same in both the, that is, processes. Then what is the difference? That is, in first stay or in first process, that is first process is carried out, that is directly A is converted into D, and here heat enthalpy change, that is heat evolved or absorbed, is denoted by delta H. While in second process, same process is there, and same process we have carried out, that is in many steps. A is converted into B, B is converted into C, and C is converted into D. In first step, that is enthalpy change is denoted by delta H. In second step, it is denoted by delta H2. While in third step, it is denoted by delta H3. Then what we find, that is delta H is equal, according to his law. According to his law, that is delta H is equal to delta H1, delta H2, delta H3. Suppose it is delta H is in first process 180. Then in second step, in all these three steps, it is also 180. Yani the process is carried out in one step, that is directly, or in many steps. Enthalpy change is same in both the cases. Okay. Now actually we take the example, that is formation of carbon dioxide. Formation of carbon dioxide. Now how carbon dioxide gas is formed? Now carbon dioxide gas is formed in two ways. In two ways. So how? That is, in first is when carbon is heated in excess of oxygen. In excess of oxygen, then carbon dioxide, CO2 gas is obtained, and heat enthalpy change in this process is minus 393.5 kilojoule. So see here, formation of carbon dioxide, and it is carried out directly by heating carbon in excess amount of oxygen. It forms carbon dioxide, and in this process enthalpy change is minus 393.5 kilojoule. So what is the reaction? That it is here, that is C plus O2. C plus O2, it gives, that is the CO2. Okay. Now second step, that is carried out in two steps. That is what we have to take here. That is carbon is heated in insufficient amount of oxygen. In first step, we have taken large amount of excess of oxygen, but in second method, or in second process, what we have taken? We have taken the same carbon, and we have heated with in presence of oxygen, but the what is the quantity of oxygen? It is insufficient. That is, we have taken half O2, that is C plus half O2, it gives, that is CO, carbon monoxide. That is, when carbon is heated in insufficient amount of oxygen, it is converted into carbon monoxide. C plus half O2, it gives, that is CO. This is the carbon monoxide. And enthalpy change in this reaction is minus, that is 110.5 kilojoule. Enthalpy change is minus 110.5 kilojoule. Now in second step, this carbon monoxide is again heated with, that is insufficient amount of oxygen, that is carbon monoxide CO plus half O2, it gives CO2. And in this process, enthalpy change is given by, that is delta H is equal to minus 283.0 kilojoule. So this is, that is the delta H is equal to minus 283.0 kilojoule. So in both the process, that is carbon dioxide is obtained. In first process, that is when carbon is heated in excess amount of oxygen, it form carbon dioxide. And in this process, that is enthalpy change is minus 393.5 kilojoule, and it takes place in one step. While in second process, that is the reaction takes place in two steps. What are the two steps? Carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is formed. That is when carbon is heated in insufficient amount of oxygen, it forms carbon monoxide. And in first step, that is the enthalpy change is minus 110.5 kilojoule. While in second, that is the process, carbon monoxide is again heated in insufficient amount of oxygen, it is converted into carbon dioxide. While in this process, that is enthalpy change is minus 283.0 kilojoule. Now, if we take the addition of these two, that is delta H1, and suppose this is the delta H1, this is the delta H2. Addition of these two, that is minus 110.5 kilojoule and minus 283.0 kilojoule, it becomes, that is the minus 393 kilojoule, and which is equal to, that is carbon dioxide obtained in first stage, that is in first process, that is only single, that is step. So in both the cases, in first case, carbon dioxide gas is obtained by heating carbon in excess amount of oxygen, it is minus 393.5 kilojoule. While in second process, that is same carbon dioxide gas is obtained, but it is obtained in two steps. First, carbon is heated in insufficient amount of oxygen, it forms carbon monoxide, and carbon monoxide again heated in insufficient amount of oxygen, it formed, that is the carbon dioxide. Now in both the cases, that is heat enthalpy change. In first case, it is minus 110.5, while in second case, it is minus 283.0 kilojoule. And addition of these equal to, that is enthalpy change in the first process, that is the minus 393.5 kilojoule. So in enthalpy change in both cases is same. So his law, that is tells that is the total amount of heat absorbed or evolved during a chemical reaction is same whether the reaction takes place in one step or that is the many step. So this is the his law, and that is we have taken the formation of carbon dioxide as its, that is the example. So this is the his law and its explanation. Now last is, that is the application of his law, where his law is used. So first application of this is, that is using his law, thermochemical equation can be added, subtracted or multiplied by like algebraic equation. So this is the, that is first application of his law, that is by using his law, thermochemical equation can be added, subtracted or multiplied like algebraic equation. Now second, it is also used to calculate the heat of reaction which do not takes place extremely slow. That is to calculate the heat of reaction which do not takes place extremely slow. So that types of reaction we can calculate the heat of reaction. Now third one, to calculate the heat of formation which takes place extremely slow. That is those reaction which takes place very slow. So we can calculate heat of formation of that reaction also. Next, fourth one, to calculate the heat of reaction which takes place fast, the reaction which takes place very fast. So heat of reaction of such a reaction can also be calculated by using the His law. Now, fifth, to calculate the heat of reaction from the heat of formation of compound which cannot be formed directly from their element. To calculate the heat of reaction from the heat of formation of the compound which cannot be formed directly from their elements. Next, that is to calculate the heat of reaction from the heat of formation of reactant and product. And lastly, that is to calculate the calorific values of food and fuels. So these are the application of His law. So His law is very important as far as examination point of view is concerned. That is, always question is asked for 10 marks. That is, state and explain His law and give its application. So we have to give the statement, its explanation with example. We can give the example of that is carbon dioxide, formation of carbon dioxide, how it is formed in single step and two step. And we have to show that is in for single step, that is a enthalpy change, and in many step enthalpy changes, that is the same. And finally, that is the its application. So this is all about the that is a thermodynamics first. So what we have seen from first lecture, we have seen first that is the different terms which are used in thermodynamics, that is system, surrounding, then open system, closed system, isolated system, homogeneous system, and heterogeneous system. Then we have seen process and different types of process: isothermal process, isoporic process, isobaric process, reversible process, irreversible process, etc. Now, after that, we have seen that is a difference between reversible and irreversible process. We have seen the difference, and then that is a different statements of first law of thermodynamics. Then that is some special cases for the first law of thermodynamics. And we have obtained that is a very important equation, that is work done in isothermal irreversible process. That is we have proved W is equal to P into V2 minus V1. And work done in reversible process, that is W max is equal to 2.303 nRT log of V2 upon V1. We have proved that. Concept of maximum work we also seen. Then that is we have changed enthalpy, and that is a enthalpy change. We have proved that equation, that is enthalpy and enthalpy change. Now after that we have seen that is a heat capacity and molar heat capacity. Molar heat capacity is of two types: molar heat capacity at constant pressure and molar heat capacity at constant volume. And we have seen the relation between molar heat capacity at constant pressure and at constant volume. That is, we have proved that is Cp minus Cv is equal to R. And lastly, we have seen that is the His law and its application. So this is all about that is our first topic of physical chemistry paper 8, thermodynamic first. Now questions from this topic, that is how questions are asked. So I have given these are the questions. that is define system surrounding, explain different types of system with suitable example. Then explain extensive and intensive property with suitable example. Explain different types of process. We have seen that distinguish between reversible and irreversible process. So work done in reversible and irreversible process. Then explain the concept of maximum work. Then we have seen prove that Cp minus Cv is equal to R. Then write different statement of first law of thermodynamics, give its mathematical form. Next, explain the concept of enthalpy, obtain expression for change in enthalpy. Then state and explain His law at constant His summation, give its application. Then we also explain molar heat capacity at constant volume and molar heat capacity at constant pressure. Later on, the question that is explain the concept of internal energy and enthalpy. Then short notes, write a short note on homogeneous and heterogeneous system, molar heat capacity at constant pressure and at constant volume. Then types of system, first law of thermodynamics, intensive and extensive property, enthalpy and internal energy, His law. So this short note is always asked on question number 2, right? That is write short note on any 4 of the following. So these are the questions. So only numerical problems are remains from this topic. So in the next period, that is we solve that is numerical problems for this topic. So in the next period, that is we have to listen lecture, we have to take the notebook, pen, log table and calculator. So I am giving, we solve some problem here also, and I will give the some exercise of these numerical problems. So if any difficulty is there, then ask. Yes, please write down on the chat box if any question or any difficulty is here. Or okay, we will stop here. Thank you.